first of all, it's only happened like 3 different times, and we've been together now for like 5 years, so it's really not
So
that
it's
big.
only been
'Cause
like
I'm not.
3 times cheating. Okay. I mean, you're trying to downplay this, and it's just you sound like you're really coping right now.
No, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm proud of what I did. I'm just simply saying that I give my wife a great, great life. I mean, I work
I know,
very
but I
hard
feel
for the
like you're
money I
under the
got.
impression that because you're providing her with the financial needs that she needs, which is great, by the way, that
Thank
somehow
you.
now justifies you going out and cheating on her.
But
Because it doesn't
men,
mean anything to you, but it
but
clearly means
men,
something to her.
but men
Not
can
to
sleep.
mention, you've already kind of lied because by giving her a ring,
How did I
you've
lie?
said, because by giving her a ring, you're saying I'm committing to you.
That's your assumption, and I just don't. I don't
Did you
think
agree
should
to an
try.
open marriage or an open relationship?
Hell no. Why would I
Okay, so
ever
then it
agree to
was
that?
agreed upon that it was exclusive.
How can you sit there and say how my wife should or shouldn't feel? That kind of sounds like you're mansplaining to my
No,
wife, and I don't
I don't.
appreciate it. She,
I think your wife should leave you,
what do you
genuinely.
mean? Oh yeah, I think I might be able to change your mind on a couple things. When it comes to like the well, I don't really like to call it the red pill, because I think it's kind of cringe. But first and foremost, big fan of what you got going on. I would say I'm more of like a center left leaning on politics. I used to be pretty right wing.
Okay.
Been watching your channel for about 2 years, and do
Well, hey, thanks
appreciate
so
you
much
being.
for the support. I really appreciate it. Also, not trying to rush you, but you might want to make it quick because my kids are up, so I'm gonna have to dip here pretty soon.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. But yeah, first and foremost, I mean, I just want to give you a little bit of background
He
why
also
I
noted
think
that
you're
I am
wrong.
an ape and I should go
It's
Okay.
kind
F
of weird
myself.
because like I'm a big fan of your channel and Fresh and Fit for different reasons. But yeah, I think first and foremost, I think Myron and the other guy Fresh are right about 99% of things. So is there like a specific thing that you disagree with the most? Like we can talk about the man cheating thing
I
if you
disagree
want.
heavily with the narcissistic claim he made.
Okay, so we can talk about that. So yeah, I would say from my experience, a lot of females, a lot of women more narcissistic, and and the reason is because like whenever I had one of my male friends cheat on a woman, he felt bad, he got kicked out and all that, and but every time it seems like a female cheats, she always blames the man, like she wasn't getting attention, and I just think it's kind of bullshit. And it just seems like, from my experience, I would agree with Myron that females are more narcissistic. Would you disagree with that?
Well, I would disagree with it only because, I mean, like I was just saying, that's an empirical claim. So you would need to have some kind of a statistic to back it up. So you may have had experience with some narcissistic women. I'm not denying that. But drawing the conclusion that, based on your experience, women are more narcissistic, therein lies the problem.
Well, I mean, I can actually give you guys some data on that. There's a book, "Why Women Deserve Less." It was actually written by Myron, and he gets all into how that female nature just inherently is more narcissistic because it goes and stems into like old biology about how if a woman would cheat on her man, she would get thrown out of the tribe, and this is going back to like you know.
This is not as much of an okay, first of all, Myron's book is not data or a study. The Red Pill Channel's book, I don't think is the best source if we're debating that Red Pill Channel. So that's the first thing. Second of all, anytime people try to like, well, it's biological, listen, there might be certain biological reasons why we view this thing as different, partially because women have obviously a risk of getting pregnant, whereas men don't have that risk. There's definitely like, or I'm not even denying that there's not biological things at play, of course. However, let's be real here. The notion that women by nature are just more narcissistic is simply untrue. In fact, it's men who are socialized to be confident, assertive, and aggressive, which are traits of narcissism. So not
I
only do you
mean,
have that, you also have literal data which shows that men have higher rates of narcissism than women.
well, I mean, I'm the only person who brought a source up, and I understand you might not like the source being from Myron Gaines, but since you seem so confident, don't you have a source? And I'm not trying to be like
Sure, I'll pull up a source right now
argumentative.
for you. Yeah, hold on one second.
I'm not trying to be argumentative, Hunter. Like I said, I just I agree with you
Don't
on
worry about it.
most
Just
things.
give me 3 seconds. Hold on.
Dang, I'm sorry if you're having a bad day. I just told you I was a fan, but okay.
All right, sorry about that. Let me So here's male and female the differences. The University of Buffalo condensed 31 years of research on narcissism involving over 475,000 participants into a report concluding that even taking on board differences of age and background, men are more likely to be narcissistic than women.
Oh man, that's
So
probably
my
like a
source is
bias.
the University of Buffalo, 31 years of research with over 400,000 sample size.
Yeah, but was that study done by a woman? I mean, put it this way, Hunter. I'm not
No, it was
trying to
done
be
by a
like
man, or this article at least was written by a man. Hold on,
probably
let me check.
male
Let me check.
women.
Let me check. But you realize that even if it were, hold
Hunter,
on,
why are
wait,
you
no,
yelling
no,
at me?
no.
You're
Because
being
even
mean.
if you were correct and even if you're right that it was written by a woman, that does not dismiss the data.
And honestly, I think most women don't care if a man cheats as long as he's providing for her. And what I mean by that is like no one in the red pill community is trying to say that it's okay to cheat, Hunter. I think that's something
Well, they
that
seem
you're.
far more dismissive of it when it's men compared to women, and that's
But
another thing I would disagree with
there's
him
a
on.
big difference. But isn't there a big difference with it, Hunter? Because a man can't carry a baby. So if a man spreads a seed, you obviously have more. Everybody knows who the father is
So is
and
it
the mother.
equal then if the woman cheats but doesn't get pregnant? What?
Well, here's the thing
He
about
has
it,
the
Hunter.
wait, no. He has the possibility to impregnate. His actions could lead to something like that as well.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Fresh and Fit make it sound as if it's the woman's fault that the men cheat because she's not being attractive enough.
but isn't our goal to spread our genes and live on forever? Because we're all gonna die one day, and everything, all the money that we made, it's all gonna mean nothing.
If
So if
that's
you're,
your goal, then go out and hook up with as many people as you'd like to. But if you have
but
committed, hold on, wait, if you've committed to a partner, it is not okay to just neglect that vow and go off and sleep around.
I mean, I agree as long as you're like you're broke and not really a man of high status. Like for instance, I grew up in Arkansas and I didn't really come from much. And I used to kind of be like misogynist and whatnot, and I used to think it was okay for every man to cheat. And I ended up cheating on. Well, she wasn't my wife. We didn't actually get married for real, thank God, or she would have probably divorced me for I didn't have much. But anyway, fast forward, I ended up making something of myself, worked very hard, and I do all right. I'm not saying I'm a rich man, but I do all right.
Okay.
And so for everybody who wants to call me stupid in the chat, that's kind of mean. I'm doing something right. But anyway, my wife doesn't care. I mean, she doesn't like it, but she kind of knows that I don't really cheat on her much, but I have before. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean anything. Now, if my like, it's just a
It doesn't mean
biology.
anything if so. I think what you're getting at is that for women to desire sex, it requires more of an emotional connection. So the woman
Well,
would first
it
have to have
does.
an in-depth
Exactly.
emotional connection or attachment to another man.
See, I
Whereas
think
for
I'm way to
you, it's
go.
more like I just want to fuck because I'm a guy,
Exactly.
testosterone. Yeah, and but
Exactly.
I'm saying that's irrelevant because you have both made a commitment. You both agreed to a commitment. So it's not worse if a woman cheats compared to a man. It's bad to cheat on a partner, especially if you want to talk about how it's important that the wife has that in-depth emotional connection with her partner. Similarly, it's important that the man has that his exclusive, I guess, access to sex in this case from that partner. They both are providing needs for one another. So just if the woman requires a more in-depth emotional connection first, doesn't necessarily mean it's worse if she cheats.
I mean, it sounds like you understand where I'm coming from to an extent, so maybe I'm winning you over a bit, but there's more common ground I think we got to come to. So when I cheated in the past, back when I was just a brokey, my I never got back with her, but now, like I said, my we say we're married, we're not really married because I don't want to get taken to the cleaners, but because there is a bias against men in the court of law, which is another thing I think you might disagree with me on, but it's 100% true.
No,
But
I mean
anyway,
I would agree with that. Like, as if you mean like men getting sentenced to longer
yeah,
time in prison, yeah,
yeah, and I
yeah. A
know
lot of
all,
that's
all
because of toxic masculinity, shit that Fresh and Fit directly reinforce rather than
It's
picking
not
against.
toxic masculinity, Hunter. It's truth. It's biological nature. In fact, like I mean, if I go
Wait,
out
well,
there and cheat, I'm not even saying I cheat very much. It's just I've done it before, and it didn't mean anything. But if my wife was to go out there and cheat, first of all, that's a sin in the eyes of God. I'm a religious man, and it's pretty apparent in the Bible that a lot of the kings and whatnot, the kings and the sultans and all the men of high value and high status, all of them had multiple women. So I don't know what you're going to say about that, but that is just an undeniable truth,
yeah,
Hunter.
because there's a difference between polygamy as far as like marrying multiple women and then
Right.
cheating on women. And this is also not true. Don't you know the story about is it Bathsheba
Never heard of her.
and was it King Solomon and Bathsheba?
Yeah, King Solomon was a player.
Yeah, King Solomon saw a beautiful woman bathing on her rooftop, and so he sent her husband off to the front lines of war so that he would die, and he slept with her. And King Solomon was punished by God. Okay, not Solomon, sorry, it was David. And David was punished by God for that.
Right.
So you cannot say it's
I mean, that's
not a
just one.
sin
But
necessarily for
Hunter,
men because they had multiple wives. My
Hunter,
dude, give me a break.
that's
That is
just one
mad
example,
cope.
Hunter.
No, that's mad
No, it's not.
cope.
It sounds like you're the one coping. I'm not even trying to be mean. It just sounds like you're the one coping because
You're
you gave me
saying the
one
Bible
example
justifies it because
in the
God blessed
Quran.
some polygamous relationships, which
In
again
the
are different than
Quran.
actually cheating on people.
But how comes that every single society all around the world, before there was ever contact between one another, it was always frowned upon for women to be promiscuous? How
Because
comes that?
women could get pregnant.
Exactly, that's one of the reasons, but it's also because the woman's job is to be submissive to the man. And if she's running around opening her legs for every single
This is
man that
not the
comes her
woman's
way,
job. This is why I'm getting mad
yes,
at
it
you, and
is.
this is why I don't think that I don't know how much of a fan you can possibly be of me if you're saying this dumb shit. It is
Oh,
not a
it's not
woman's
fair.
job to submit
I
to a
can be
man.
a fan of you and Fresh and Fit, Hunter, because you're an ally to the LGBTQ. Sorry, I got a little tongue twisted. I just get a little nervous when I get yelled at. I had a tough childhood, but you get a little bit triggered about this Fresh and Fit stuff, and I don't
I
know
get
why because
triggered because you're saying lies. So when you say
it's not a lie, Hunter.
yes, when you say it's women's job to submit to the man, no, it's not.
What do you mean?
Maybe at one point culturally that was
So you admit at one point that was a normal thing, right?
wait, yes, it was a cultural
Right.
norm, but it doesn't
So
mean
you
it's
agree with me?
no, because you're saying it's still the woman's job to submit to a husband. And I'm saying, no, it's not. Just if at one point it was culturally seen that way, one, doesn't justify it. And two, this is, again, not the data. Women don't do as well in caregiving positions when they feel like they are pressured to be in those positions to begin with.
I recited 3 different sources: the Bible, the Quran, and Myron Gaines' book. All 3 of those sources can say different than what you're saying. So you can go sit there.
The Bible doesn't help you because the Bible depicts God punishing the man who cheated. Second of all,
How
the
comes
data
God told
points
Abraham?
demonstrate. Hold on, wait. The data points demonstrate that when women and men are treated equally in relationships, those relationships are the most successful ones. Those are the most successful relationships.
But how comes that God told Abraham that if he couldn't have kids with Sarah, to impregnate his younger slave wife because she was hotter and younger? That also ties into men are more attractive.
I don't
than
know.
what they
Why did
say.
God also say you could get slaves? There's lots of things from God that I'm confused by, which is
Come on,
probably why he's
Hunter.
a
I
really
don't
bad
believe in
source.
slavery.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
God, you
good.
say
Well,
God is a
God
bad
does,
source?
so I don't know why you disagree with him there. But again, conversation for another time. It is not a
Because you're
woman's
scared.
job to submit to the man if
No, it's because I'm making a point. I thought we were almost agreeing on something. I mean, damn. I mean, I could come over here and I could tell you about how much I agree with you on, I don't know, LGBTQ issues and whatnot, but I want to talk about something we might disagree on. And this is it, but it seems like you agree with half of what I'm saying, then
no,
you
I
pivot away.
don't.
Then
No,
you pivot
because
away. No, you even
can
agree
I
that,
explain?
man. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you explain.
So, okay, you're saying it's a woman's job to submit to the husband. I conceded that at one point it was culturally like a cultural norm for the woman to be submissive to the husband.
So I changed your mind.
But hold on. No, you didn't change my mind. That's a historical fact. I've always known this. I've talked about this before, of course. You didn't change my mind on that. I conceded that. What I'm disagreeing with you on is the notion that women should still be submissive to the husband because, one, there's data points demonstrating that equal relationships are the most successful. They have more sex. They have a way lower risk of divorce. There's data points showing that women, when they are pressured into caregiving positions or being mothers, if they don't want to be, oftentimes have more depression, neglect their own well-being. They don't do as well. So whether or not the Bible says this thing, you would think that if the Bible were true, it would be borne out by the data, but it's not. And like
Bible.
almost everything else with the Bible, it's in conflict with modern day information.
It's because the modern people are Satanists and they don't want us to follow the Bible. And honestly, do you think it's sexist for 1 second to suggest that a man who's stronger and has more testosterone and can provide and has a wife and he thinks that she should submit, you think that is sexist?
If she's agreed to that, if that's the marriage agreement, then no. But if you're like, hey, I'm married, and as by virtue of me being a man, You, as the woman, need to submit to me. Yes, that's sexist as fuck.
How is that? So do you think it's sexist that if a man and a woman are walking down the street, let's not even say it's his wife, it's just a friend of his who's a woman, who's a female,
Don't do this, please. Can I
and she gets
can
it?
I change the subject, please? I'm not trying to pivot, but I already know you're going to say if she gets
You're
attacked,
pivoting
what are you
so
going to
hard.
do?
You're
There's going
right,
to be a
right,
guy that
yeah,
needs to step up. Yeah, because he's
right.
stronger
Is that
physically. Okay.
sexist?
Why does that? No. Why does that translate to
That's
the man should
sexist.
be leading the relationship?
But you're the one who said that they found female skeletons with spears in their hands, so therefore a woman can fight back according to your logic. I'm just saying that I just caught you in a lie right there, or not. Maybe not want to call you a liar. I take that back. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. I meant to say I caught you in an inconsistency because right off the bat, right there, you even admitted in the past that women can
No,
fight too.
wait.
How come
Women
she
can't.
can't
Oh my
fight
god,
and get her
this is.
own purse?
I'm gonna have to mute you now because
I'm
this
sorry.
is just not true. You didn't catch me in a lie. Thank you for not calling me a liar. Yes, women fought at one point. Women still fight today in the military. This doesn't mean that women, on average, are more likely to be able to fight off an attacker as compared to a man. How does this translate, though, to the man should be leading the relationship? Why should the wife be submissive to the man in everything? I don't
Because the
understand.
man's providing. And that's what we were talking about. If we can get back to the
In what
roots of our
way? The woman is
conversation.
providing what? His sexual needs, care for the
His
house,
sexual,
care for the
yeah, care for
children.
the house, care for the children, his sexual needs. It's not really asking much to come home from a hard day of work. I know men who work 13, 14, 16-hour days. If all he wants to do is get his foot rubbed and, just have a peaceful place to go home and have a home-cooked meal and his sexual needs fulfilled, that's really not asking much compared to the
Have you
man
ever
having to
had
go
like a
out there.
day with young kids?
What do you mean? Oh, every now and then I watch my kids, but I don't think it's the man's job to have to be there as much. I
Okay.
mean, as long
Yeah.
as
The
he's
thing is
providing
that
and
I've
feeding.
been home with my kids for like consistent stretches of time, and it's incredibly exhausting. Actually, like the fact that you're saying that demonstrates not sexism, but if anything, just like a lack of knowledge, maybe privilege, just because of the ignorance you seem to be enjoying.
Well, it seems
Saying,
like you're
"Oh,
the
it's
one that.
not that hard to come home and want a foot rub and some sex." It is sometimes pretty tough if you've been with the kids all day long, demanding things from you all day long, never able to get a break, not having any engagement with people besides small children who are demanding things of you.
Oh, that's a fair point, but the
That's
man's the one.
incredibly exhaustive.
The man's the one who has to do all the physical work anyway. The woman just kind of has to sit there.
Wait,
But
why does this mean that the man should be the leader of the relationship? Because he's providing like the
providing a roof
financial
over
money?
the head, yeah, the financial
The
money. He's
wife's
providing
with
a
the
roof
family
over.
more often then. Shouldn't she be the one leading? Because she's the one in
Well,
the house.
Hunter, this isn't a personal attack at you because I'm a big fan of your channel. You've worked very hard on it, but you have a channel. You just sit there and you stream and debate people who really aren't that intelligent. And now you have
Well, I'm
somebody who's
talking to
pressing you.
you,
I don't know if
and you're
that's
not
supposed
that
to be
intelligent. So, I mean, kind of a cell
really.
phone there.
I mean, Hunter, I don't understand what I'm saying. That's not biblical fact.
It's
It's
not because
100%
biblical
true.
and fact should not be used in the same sentence. That's the first problem. When you say it's a biblical fact, it might be a
Well,
fact that it's in the Bible, but just if it's in the Bible doesn't mean it's a fact.
I don't want to go into the Bible thing because you'll get completely wrecked on that because I am a Christian man, God-fearing man. But I'm just talking about you. My point in Hunter was you don't really work in like the steel mills or the coal factories
I
or
don't need
whatnot,
to.
coal
It can,
miners.
yes, I'm not
You don't
denying that
understand
jobs can
how
be
much
hard.
work it is. It's a hard work, Hunter. So
Yes,
all
but
I'm
you
saying
also
when you
don't always understand how much work it is to manage a household day to day and take care of small kids. So all I'm saying is both sides seem to be pitching in incredibly exhaustive ways. The man is
I don't.
dedicating nearly all of his life to making money. The wife is dedicating all of her life, at least for now, to taking care of the family and the kids. So why does the man get to be the one who leads and the wife has to
Because the
submit? Why?
well, I'm not saying that the wife should be treated like a slave, but I am saying that the wife should submit. And I
Why?
think that if the
Why
man,
should it be the
because
wife submitting to the husband? Why not the other way
well,
around? Why not
because
equal?
a husband submitting to the man is against the will of God. If you want to take it from a religious perspective, but if you want to take it from a common sense and biological perspective, a woman who submits to a man are typically 9 out of 10 times more happy. It's in Myron Gaines' book. And now you
This
might
is
not like him as
untrue. The one he's talking. Wait, was he talking about a study that said women with sexist men are happier?
women with sexless men are happy. What do you mean?
Sexist with
Oh,
sexist men.
sexist, man. I wouldn't use the word sexist. I would use the word
But is that what he
common
said?
sense.
I'm wondering if that's
N-
what was in Myron's book.
no. Myron does not think he's a sexist. That's just what the label
No. I
that.
know, but I'm saying there have been studies that have suggested the same thing. But usually it's because the woman is under the wrong impression and literally perceives that relationship to be equal, even if it's not. So it's her impression of equality that's actually making her happy in that case. It is not because the man is leading. Again,
Are you?
hold on, wait. Again, relationships in which the men and women are treated equally, they treat each other equally, have the lowest risk of divorce and the most sex. How are you going to deny this?
I'm not denying that. I'm simply just saying that women a lot of times, and I don't like the way you worded it. I think that was disingenuous, no disrespect.
How did I?
I'm
What
just
was disingenuous?
Well, you tried to say that women who are with a man who believes in traditional gender roles, that's the way I would word it, but you worded it as
Yes, it was called
sexist
benevolent
relationship,
sexism in the study.
benevolent sexist. I mean, that's just some new age feminist jargon, which I'm a male feminist in a lot of ways, but I do believe in gender roles. I just think it makes a household happier. There's always going to be ups and downs.
But this isn't
I could be
true. This is just not true. So why
how
are women unhappy as stay-at-home moms? Why are
how,
relationships where people are treated equally more successful?
let me
Like
ask you a
why?
question.
You're just no. I need to first explain because you're just making assertions right now. You're just like
Why
this
why,
is
why do
happier. No, it's
why,
not.
Why does Andrew Tate have so many women around him at all times? He's not loyal to them, and they're
Okay.
always hanging on him.
This is
So
you're
can
literally grasping at straws right now.
I'm not
Some
grasping
people are
at
saying
straws.
I'm getting
I
trolled right
answered.
now. Are you a troll?
I I'm not a troll. I answered all your questions. I'm a fan of yours. I already told you. I just
You're
disagree with you on this
I don't
one
think you're
thing.
that okay. So let's just go over recap here because I got to get off. My
Okay.
kids are getting mad at me. But like recap
Sorry,
is
sorry if
first
you
it
got
was
completely
men are
destroyed.
more first it was that women are more narcissistic. We looked at the data. That's not true. You tried to say
It is
because it was
true.
written by a woman that
Myron
it's
Gaines' book
not.
breaks it all down.
Hold on. Because you tried to say that because this one study had a lead author who was a female, that somehow discredits the information, which is an ad hom logical fallacy. So by definition, it's illogical to try and make that argument. So you were wrong about the narcissism thing. Now you're trying to say it's better for the wife to submit because the Bible, which I don't care what the Bible says because it also says it's okay to have slaves, or because people are happier, even though there's data points literally demonstrating the opposite.
Come on, man. I mean, that's just not fair. You're just sitting there handpicking studies right now, and you're denying the Bible. I
You
think that's kind of
cannot say
blasphemous.
you're a fan of mine and then use terms
No,
like
I am a fan of yours.
I'm cherry picking
I
studies.
literally disagree with you on like three things. I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe in the Bible, and I believe in the quote unquote red pill community. Other than that, I'm more like a moderate leftist. But
Okay,
I
I
do
don't
agree.
care what you consider yourself. The truth of the matter is you need to stop with this idea or belief that women need to submit to the men
Well,
just
then
by
how
nature
comes
of them being women. That is
well then
a problem.
how comes the minute I came under some money, I have a new girlfriend. My first one left me after I got caught cheating, and I ain't saying that was right. But now that I provide and give my wife, she don't have to work a day in her life, and my two kids, they are well fed.
Good.
And
That's great.
thanks, Hunter, I appreciate it. And every now and then, I might just go out, and it doesn't mean anything. And if she asks me about it, I don't lie because I don't believe in mental abuse. I'm honest with her, and
This is why I feel
she's
like
happy.
you're trolling me right now. Are you saying like just every now and again you just kind of go up, fuck
It
some like
doesn't mean
prostitute and
it
whatever?
doesn't mean anything, Hunter. Doesn't mean anything, and that's the whole
Do
point.
you think it means
And
anything to your wife?
I don't think she's a fan of it, but I think she'd be more upset if she called me lying. I let her go through my phone and all
You're
that. I don't
lying
talk.
already because you said you made a promise to be exclusive with her.
No, I never said that. I said that now
Are
that
you
I'm a high
married? Maybe
status.
I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
No, no, it's okay. I got her a ring, but we didn't actually get married because I have things to lose right now. And you agree with me earlier that men typically do get the short end of the stick in divorce and custody court. And we have a kid together. I have a kid with another woman, but that's not that important. My point is, I didn't want to get married to her because I
So
trust
then
her, but
even okay, but then even if you've engaged, like she's under the impression
right.
that this is an exclusive thing. So
I
you're
mean,
kind of lying every time
so
you hook up with her
it
or
not
hook up with other
necessarily.
people.
No,
Sorry.
no. I already told you right now that first of all, it's only happened like three different times, and we've been together now for like 5 years. So it's really not
So
that.
it's
Like,
only
it's
been
not.
like
I'm not.
3 times cheating. Okay.
But
I mean,
it's
you're
not like
trying to downplay this, and it's just you sound like you're really coping right now. You're also
why should
acknowledging that
you?
your wife or your fiance, sorry, clearly cares. It
She's not.
bothers
She's
her. It
not
means
a fan.
something to her.
But I'm not gonna manipulate her and be abusive mentally and lie to her, and that's where it becomes a problem. And that's what Myron Gaines says. Like, if you get caught cheating and then you try to like, oh, I'm sorry, it didn't happen, and she catches you with a lie, then she thinks that you're a weaker man. So
If you
you're
say, "Yeah, I
dishonest with
hooked
her.
up with another girl," but don't worry, it didn't mean anything, babe. Like
I don't
she
even know
should
her
leave
name.
you, bro.
Why should she
Why are
leave
you
me and
hooking
leave?
up with girls you don't even know the names of if you have a wife?
It's not like it was planned. It just kind of happens. Like I work 16 hours a day. I'm on a job site. Shit happens. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to swear. It just
You
kind
can
of
swear,
happens.
it's
And
fine.
no, okay, sorry. I didn't know, Hunter. I didn't want to get you in trouble. But yeah, it just kind of happens. And the thing is, it's not. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm proud of what I did. I'm just simply saying that I give my wife a great, great life. I mean, I
I
work
know,
very
but I
hard
feel
for the
like you're
money I
under the
got.
impression that because you're providing her with the financial needs that she needs, which is great, by the way, that
Thank
somehow
you.
now justifies you going out and cheating on her
But
because it doesn't
men,
mean anything to you, but it
but
clearly means
men,
something to her.
but men
Not
can
to
sleep.
mention, you've already kind of lied because by giving her a ring,
How did I
you've
lie?
said, because by giving her a ring, you're saying, I'm committing to you.
That's your assumption, and I just don't. I
Did
don't
you
think you
agree
should
to an
try.
open marriage or an open relationship?
Hell no. Why would I
Okay,
ever
so then
agree
it
to
was
that?
agreed upon that it was exclusive.
That's just your assumption, and that's just
All right.
society's assumption.
Listen, my kids are coming in here now, so I think this is
You
enough
got wrecked.
anyway.
You got destroyed, Hunter.
I've already, well, I'm about to get wrecked because I've already
Well,
just had a
you're
conversation with
you're
a child, and now I'm about to have a
how
conversation with
how
two more
can
kids who just came in here.
how can
So
you? Are you calling me a child? How can you sit there and say how my wife should or shouldn't feel? That kind of sounds like you're mansplaining to my
no,
wife, and I don't
I don't.
appreciate it. She,
I think your wife should leave you
what do you
genuinely.
mean?
Your wife should leave. Any man who says, "Well, I give you a lot of money, and so it's okay for me to cheat and break the promise I made to you," skippity hee haw, then yeah, no,
Now you're gonna
she
mock
should
my accent
she should
just
ditch you
because I'm from
immediately.
Arkansas. You want to mock my accent? I'm not sitting here mocking your accent. What the hell? That's not even fair. I'm just talking facts, and you're sitting there mocking me. No disrespect. I'm just
You're
saying you're
not
sitting here.
talking facts. You're talking a
I'm
bunch of
talking facts.
BS, my dude.
Is
All
it a
right.
fact,
So
Hunter, that I cheated on my wife? And I'll admit it, and she's still here. Why? Because I'm a high value man and I provide for her. It's fuck. That's all I'm trying to say. So I don't know why you got to cope right now and you got to deny that that's an objective reality that a woman will stick with a high value man. If my wife ever cheats, she's getting tossed on the road and she ain't getting a damn penny because I never married her. But that's okay. She ain't going to cheat on me because she's already with the top guy she ever going to be with. And you know what? I make her happy. I provide for her. I give
okay.
our
So yeah,
kids a great life.
typical. It's okay for me to cheat. I'll ditch her the minute she cheats. It's
Guys can have sex with a woman and
so
not even like the
cringe,
woman.
dude. Oh my
Guys can
god.
have sex with a woman and not even like a woman. Seriously, I'm telling you
Okay.
right now.
Either then
You know
why
what?
then why would you do that with her? What like
Because
why?
it's not really me doing it. It's my second brain. That's how
Okay.
men are designed.
Yep.
Men are designed to
Design.
sit.
This is such a cope. I'm sure God would be
It's
very
not a
proud
cope.
right now, my dude.
I'm unsubscribing from you. You know
Go,
what?
you know what?
Disappointing.
Go unsubscribe from me. Stop. I can't believe you would consider yourself a fan if you actually think women should be submitting to the husband and it's
Oh, I
okay to
believe in
cheat
gay
based on the
marriage.
Bible.
I believe in gay marriage. That's why I'm a
Well,
fan
maybe
of
you
you.
should believe in straight marriage because you don't seem to believe in your own. But either way,
Yeah, I
my
do. I believe in biblical marriage. You got wrecked, Hunter. You're coping
yeah,
hard
I
right
got
now.
so wrecked. I'm about to make fun of your accent again. Okay, go back to smoking crack.
Stop.
Unsubscribe from me and go away. Skippity hee
I'm
haw. Goodbye.
unsubbing. Everybody.
Oh my gosh, this guy was insane.